Hi everyone. In this episode today, I will be sharing with you a tip on how to access your subconscious through the beautiful outlet of art. Today, I'm not here to talk about being a professional artist. I'm simply talking about some simple tools that you can use to dive into your subconscious, to tap into that somatic knowing that we all have within us so that you can provide yourself with some answers and some guidance. I will be sharing with you a few tips that I utilize and have utilized over the years to access my subconscious and bypass the mental mind. Because if we get stuck too much in the conversation that is going up here, it's hard to get in here. Utilizing these somatic experiencing tools, you are then allowing yourself to drop into your body, to drop into your subconscious, which then may give you more clarity on what's going on up here. Because as humans, we have both logical and creative subconscious energies that flow through us. And so utilizing these practices allow us more of a deeper knowing of ourselves, as well as tools that help us build confidence in knowing that we can tap into that body, knowing that we can access them at any time. I'm really excited to share just a few tips with you today, how you can do that utilizing art. Before I get into the tools that I will be sharing with you today around art, I want to share with you an experience that I had in regards to art therapy. Art therapy is an amazing tool that you can utilize when visiting a therapist who is trained in this style of therapy. The first time I ever experienced art therapy is when I was in rehab. And at this point in time, I was so in my head that I thought no therapy could help me. And in this session, what we did was we sat down and the therapist gave us a few different prompts. She said it doesn't have to be a work of art, just draw what you feel comes to you. And the prompts she gave us was to draw a house and then to draw a tree. That was it. And she gave us 30 minutes to do it. And at the very end, what she showed us in regards to the meaning of it blew my mind. My drawing, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was drawing it out and I drew a log cabin with the door open. And then I drew a tree that looked like it was during the winter time. It had no leaves. And then I drew a pretty background and all this stuff. The sun was setting. I was sitting next to the tree reading a book, and that was it. I felt I did a really good job. And looking back on it now, I'm realizing how much perfectionism was in it. And it really ties into my parents and how I picked up these traits from them. And what the therapist said was the house represents your mom and the tree represents your dad. And she came over to my photo and she was like, since the door is open, your mom is more open to you. And the tree represents your dad, who I emotionally, subconsciously was closer to. But with that picture, especially I was thinking about it before recording this, it has evolved deeper into a deeper meaning. The home was a log cabin, and to me that was always good, happy times. And this represented my relationship with my mom. We were very close and she was always very open to me regardless of our differences. My dad, who with that tree, I remember drawing it and I was like, I can't make a perfect tree with leaves, so I'm just gonna do a dead tree and make it look like a winter scene or a fall scene, which represented my perfectionism that I picked up from him. I'm realizing that the dead tree represented how I felt about a relationship. There was no connection, it was an ending. But looking back on the photo now, I realized it was an end. I was feeling an end. I was feeling sad and trying to connect into happy energies from the past. I got this all from two different prompts. So if your mind is blown just like mine was, I would highly recommend looking into art therapy because they are trained in providing certain prompts that help you and guide you into your subconscious, which then allows them to work with the skills that they have as a therapist and with the prompts that they have with art. It's a beautiful combination. And again, it's a way that you can get both therapy as well as that subconscious healing. Because the one thing I realized is therapy did not work for me, talk therapy. It does at times, but I found I usually hit a block because there are subconscious things that I really wanted and yearned for. And it wasn't until I had a therapist that had me start doing somatic experiencing that I really started to see a shift and change. And I started implementing these practices more and more. And I continued this journey of discovering different ways to utilize somatic therapy as a bottom up rather than a top down. We are all different, but some of us may actually benefit from bottom up therapy, especially if we've dealt with trauma, because all our stuff gets stored in our body and it's waiting for us to rediscover it when we are ready. So having help along this journey is maybe essential for some of you. So if you feel that art therapy is great, go online, Google, and find a therapist near you. I've met a beautiful therapist and she was fantastic, super loving, and it's another possible outlet for you to get help. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can tap into your subconscious and utilize questions to help gain clarity on some issues that you may have going on. These are not normal art therapy prompts. These are just things that I have learned as a healer, as an energy sensitive, and that have really, really worked for me. When it comes to these prompts, you can use either color crayons, you can use colored pencils, pens, paints, whatever you want. Just know that this is for fun. You don't have to make a masterpiece out of it because you're doing it just to gain information. And it's also a way that you are taking time to connect in with yourself, your subconscious. Great way to connect in with your inner child as well. So go ahead and grab whatever tools that you have at the ready and let's get started. Be utilizing this huge Remember, I told you you do not have to be an artist. This is all about bypassing the logical mind to get into the subconscious. And the more you do this, the more you will know when your subconscious is done talking to you and when you are ready to start analyzing. So it's a combination of both the heart energy as well as the mental energy, connecting the mind, body, and spirit. So my question was, where is my anxiety coming from? And I heard brain, I drew it down to the heart, and then I heard solar plexus. And then it went completely blank. And when you are drawing with your left hand, you are accessing that creative subconscious mind, which then will give you a more clear connection and access to your subconscious body, which will then give you the answer. This is very similar to intuitive writing. I know for me, when it comes to intuitive writing, I got really hung up on the fact that I couldn't write fast enough to get what thoughts were coming up into my mind. And when I draw, it becomes more clear and I can hear what they're saying while I'm drawing, and I can do it with a speed that works with how my brain does, especially if you're ADHD or neurodivergent. Your brain, because you're taking in more information, this may work better for you than intuitive writing. That I know that this is what's going on and this is where it stopped. This means I will work on my solar plexus, which will then work on the heart, and then will go up into the brain. I'm also well aware that the solar plexus going up works with masculine energy. So I understand that I will be working with masculine energy and that I will be working on the muscles of the upper body. That is where all the energy is getting stuck, and that is where it's stagnant, and that's where my anxiety lies. I've created a course that helps to release the muscles via magnet therapy. And in the course that I'm going to be offering 25% off today. You will have that link in the description. This actually caters to the muscles in the body, because when we have any type of stress, which anxiety definitely causes, it will cause our body to lock up into these holding patterns and into these polarities. So in doing the muscle releases, and I have some around anxiety, I will be doing that later tonight. And while I'm in that meditation, get more information that I need. This picture is a continuum of the first drawing. And I wanted to show you two different ways you can do this, especially if you don't want to draw with your left hand and you'd like to have more clarity. I know this might not look like it's giving clarity, but just give me a minute. What I did was I still picked with my left hand, still tapped into that subconscious, and I asked the question every time that I would go to look for another color. And so I asked, what do I need to do with the solar plexus and what is it connected to? And what I got was the color gray. And I felt inclined to draw a brain. Gray matter, that's what it's connecting into. And what is this gray matter also connected to? And I heard the throat. And before I even got throat, what I did was, again, pick with my left hand, and I got this beautiful blue. And when you sit there and you can look at the photo and just allow the information to come through. Because I'm trained in the body, I knew throat chakra right away. If you are someone who is not well-versed, you might get prompts from your body to go and do research. It's all about self-discovery, and when you take that time to go and research, usually the answer will light up. You will feel a huge energetic yes from your body. Yes, that might take more time, but if you are in the beginning stages of your practice, it's necessary because you need to get used to how does your body feel when you're picking up information? What is a yes? What is a no? And going into it with a non-biased view, because there are times where I will start with looking up something, and usually I will get a prompt, I'll look it up, and I'll be reading, and all of a sudden I will be told, yes, it makes no sense. I'll click on a link and it'll lead me, and usually I'll go through a few different pages until I find the answer. Your soul will feel this peace, and then you can get the answers that you are seeking. Because we are all so different, the answers you get are going to depend on the original question you asked, what you have going on in your body, and where you are at on your healing journey. I just want to let you know that working with the subconscious is not meant to make sense. You really have to throw that out the window when you start this. The logic does start to come in, but you have to go into the subconscious and let the subconscious work itself out, work itself through. This will help you become more strengthened in your own inner knowing, which will help you find answers when you feel lost. When you do this, the easier and faster it starts to come to you. It's meant to be playful, it's meant to be fun. Again, you do not have to be an artist, and this is coming from someone who studied art. It's just a fun way to be like, oh, I'm just playing with colors. I definitely recommend practicing this because you will start to utilize the internal gifts and knowledge, and it's a way for your body to open up communication with you. It's like having a silly date with yourself. You could get some wine, you could sit down and relax and just start drawing and have your phone ready. You can draw, do some research, and by the end of it, 45 minutes have gone by. You feel grounded, you feel more centered. Because how many of us feel anxious when we're not heard and listened to? I mean, I know I do. And it creates a lot of internal feelings, especially if you are suppressed. We suppress our bodies so much. So in this simple little practice, You are opening up the communication, you're gifting yourself a form of self-love, you're deepening that connection within your body. And I cannot tell you how much our bodies are wanting to communicate with us. So in opening up that communication, you are already lessening the anxiety in your body. You're getting answers on what you need to do. And then a question I'm going to ask myself is, with this knowledge, what modality will best serve me today to help me connect these and clear the anxiety? And I just heard meditation. I mean, again, the more you do this, the more you'll just get answers. And the nice thing is once you've already opened up this line of communication with the subconscious, you might not even have to do the art therapy. Again, you might just get a download, you might get a feeling, you might get a thought, you might get a vision. And again, if you're doing that research, you might find your way onto the modality that you need. Trust your intuition. To wrap this up, I just want to review what I went over. And the number one is tapping into your subconscious allows you to deepen your intuitive connection. It allows you to bypass your mind, get into your body, which then helps to connect the two and give you the answers that you are seeking. It's also a way to decrease your anxiety, because when you communicate with your body, you are releasing stored energy. What you want to do with whatever you're using, again, I use pens today, is you want to close your eyes, rustle around, and you can feel the energy, or you'll hear your brain say, oh, stop. Pick up the color, no judgment, and then just draw and see what comes up. See what you are drawing and then go from there. If your intuition says, I need another color, go for another color. And do that until your intuition says stop. And then sit there and meditate on it and analyze and see what comes up, see what prompts. Do I need to research? You might get a feeling of, oh, I want to sing. There's your answer right there. Or you might be like, oh, I want to clean. Trust that, because I tell you what, when I go into cleaning, it's a meditative state, and then you might get the answer from there. It's not going to make sense, but it's going to open up those lines of communication, which will lead you on a journey, and it will make sense, I promise, by the end of it. If you are someone who's looking to deepen your practice of becoming your own self-healer, please follow, subscribe to this channel. Please share with anyone that you feel may benefit from this. I've linked in the description the code for the magnetic healing frequencies for the body that has to do with physical support, specifically around the muscles. There's ones that I have for anxiety, depression, nervous system regulation, clearing the drainage pathways, clearing the lymphatic system. That will really help and support you on your healing journey, especially if you're getting started, because the magnet therapy helps to depolarize the body, which then helps to reduce inflammation. It helps to allow the energy to start moving with more ease and more flow. And it's something that you can listen to anytime, anywhere. So that is all linked in the description. And I hope you all have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next video.